If it's the first or third Wednesday of the month, which it is, then that means Robert Colin from On Top of the World is in the building with us. Robert, let me make sure I got your mic on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
And you're there. And you brought with you Luke Leathers. He's the sales manager for Colin Built Homes. Luke, good morning.
Good morning.
Luke, you're a very popular guy right now in Marion County, and I'll tell you why. People need new homes. They need homes. It's one of those things where 150 people a week are moving to Marion County, and the only place really that I see a lot of homes going up at all is your place. Colin Built Homes are trying to meet the demand.
We are. It's definitely been a challenge with some of the construction constraints on materials, but new homes is one of the only places you can move forward at this point.
We just had an interview 2 segments ago where the interviewer was calling in. She's an interior designer and exterior designer working in concert with another builder, a nationwide builder. But she was saying it's now, for the first time in a very long time, it has changed to where a new built home is as affordable or maybe even more affordable than a pre-existing built home.
Yeah, she's right. Definitely new has kind of made that shift to more affordable, and you're getting the warranties and everything, peace of mind that comes with new. In the resale market, we've seen, high asking prices, and then people going 15, 20, 30,000 over that just to make sure that they're getting the home that they wanted. So,
do the 2 words bidding war mean anything right now?
Absolutely, you see it out there, and even some of the national builders have gone to that on their new builds. And
right.
It's kind of crazy to see.
Now, you guys at Colin Built Homes, you're as modern as it gets. You can digitize any home. You can make any home a smart home. Matter of fact, I bet you make almost all your homes smart homes, if not all.
So they come as smart homes or equipped to be smart homes. We found some people, especially in the younger age group coming in at Calessa, have some of their own smart devices and things that they want to bring with them. So we make it a smart, capable home, and they can definitely bring that in and easily transition it into smart.
How are you? Because that's one of the things you got to juggle right now. Because the joke is, how can you tell somebody's wealthy if they take their 9mm and shoot plywood? With the way ammo and the way wood's going price wise. So what are some of the challenges you're facing because of the lumber situation?
Oh, that's a major challenge that we're facing, and predictability of that schedule, and that's something that we really try to push and control, but it's very difficult. And controlling what that price is going to be. So releasing some of our sales in a controlled pattern so that we can make sure we're delivering at the price that we said we were going to deliver and at the time frame. But
it's not just lumber, though. It's everything.
Concrete, dirt, everything's gone up.
I think concrete's probably a little bit better, but like windows are 24 weeks out. So, think about, like, if you're going to build a house, you got to be putting everything in really, really early to get your supplies on time and to follow the schedule.
And does that, windows, doors, trusses, is it like that across the board?
Across the board.
You're having to order way out?
We've just placed orders for 80 of the homes for windows in advance, just so that we can have them and deliver them on a schedule. So it's across the board. Everything.
It's not easy to build a home anymore.
No, even down to the smallest detail that'll really hold you up at the end, and fasteners that hold in the frameless showers. That's been something that's really held us up, schedule-wise.
Appliances take forever, as you know.
Yeah.
For the shower enclosures takes forever. Mirrors are taking a long time.
We went to
cabinets.
My fiance and I went and just priced because we may be in the shopping for new washer and dryer. We just went and priced them, and the lady goes, "Oh, that's a very nice set." And we're like, "Yeah." She goes, "If you order it now, we can guarantee you'll get it within 12 weeks." Mm-hmm. I was like, "Oh, whoa, hold on. but you take my money now. She got, I understand that, and we will spend your money now, but it's still going to be 12 weeks
And the
before you get your appliances.
refrigerators are the same way. So
Yeah.
think about it, if your refrigerator goes out, you could be sitting without a refrigerator for a long time. So
I'm just coming to your house, Robert.
yeah, hey,
Get to use the one out in the garage.
I don't have one.
No, the one thing I have a plethora of, because I want to make sure I got cold adult beverages on my lanai or out near my front porch. It might not be a full size fridge, but I got fridges everywhere. So
You talked about smart homes. So Calessa, we're kind of holding back on that because people are younger generation, I think, has more ideas of what they want to put into a house that is more flexible and fluid. Whereas with our On Top of the World community, the retirement sections, we are doing a much more robust smart home. I don't. You want to talk a little bit about what we put in the house?
You've got smart lighting, your Wi-Fi that's connection points are there. Your garage door openers controlled by it.
door lock, air conditions.
You can do quite a bit, and they can add on to each package. They can go as far as to add cameras for those part-time residents. They want to be able to keep an eye on their home. They can add that into their system.
Yes,
the Ring doorbells are all there. So
Are you
a garage door that you can open up with your cell phone?
Right.
Oh yeah.
So and that's important. So you're
It's
gonna be out of
huge.
town for a while, and you need your neighbor to be able to get in. You don't have to give your key out anymore.
Well,
Right.
we
The great
have,
thing is, like, if you drive away, my favorite thing is you drive away
and you
and
forget.
you forgot. Oh, did I close my garage door? You check your Ring doorbell. It shows your garage is open. Then you can close it from wherever you are.
Right. We have the digital door locks. And it's great because when the pet sitter comes over, we know what time the pet sitter comes over. We open the door for them. They go in, they do the pet sitting, they go out, we lock the door. We're not concerned with anybody having access to our home that shouldn't have access because we grant it from the phone.
Right. And you don't worry about them forgetting to lock your door.
No,
either.
you never do that.
Right.
Let me ask you this, though. In this day and age where new homes are going up and the younger generation is so geared on what they want, are you finding homes are becoming more personalized than because back in the day you built 3 or 4 floor plans and you picked one or the other, but people now want to come in and design their own kitchen and they want to design their own walk-in their walk-in closets. Are you finding that's really what's happening with the younger? I know the 55 and up communities maybe not so much, or maybe I don't know.
Actually, it's flipped a little bit because some of the 55 and ups we're on their 5th or 6th, 7th house,
And they're like, I want it my way
I
now.
want it exactly how I want it. So far in Calessa, we've been able to provide selections without doing any kind of customization, but they've got a fair amount to choose from, and they're excited to be moving into the community and have the houses.
We have a design center where they would choose everything from the tiles to the cabinets.
So
to
they can
the
choose
counter-
all that.
They choose all that, but I think if they're going to be doing they want to move their they want to move
Right.
a counter in a certain way. That's really something they want to go to a custom builder.
Right, that's a custom.
Or you can go. We have World Home Improvements. I brought Brian here.
Brian would be able to do that.
So you could bring somebody in, and then right after you purchase the house or close on the house, then he can do the renovation for you.
Are you finding a lot of homes are going away? Because my entire house, except for one room, has no carpet. One room, the guest bedroom, has carpet. I still have no idea why that guest bedroom. The house is less than 20 years old. I don't know why they put carpet in the bedroom. Every other room has either laminate or tile or hardwood, except this one room, and it drives me bananas that I have carpet because I have 4 dogs and a cat. So carpet is a no-no. Are you finding, though, that a lot of homes, carpet's becoming obsolete?
Well, you get a fair amount of feedback, especially from pet owners, that they want hard surface floors everywhere. We still get several people that like carpets in their bedrooms. They like waking up, putting their feet
Warm-
down
warm
onto
feet.
warm. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, but you can get heated floors now.
But outside of that, they want hard surface throughout the house. So it's definitely something that feedback we've gotten.
Are kitchens and bathrooms still of the utmost importance to the buyer?
I still think kitchens are. Bathrooms are taking a little bit of a backseat to it, but they're definitely a focus. But kitchens and that main great room area, that open concept, has been kind of the biggest thing.
That's here to stay, the open concept, isn't
I
it?
think
It's
that's-
not a trend. Open concept, those crazy walls that blocked off rooms and you went around them and they were just there. They weren't load bearing or anything. They were just there to create 2 separate rooms. That's kind of gone away for good, right?
For now, I mean, everything kind of comes back around again, but we see that that's going to continue going and really pushing in from kitchen to great room, even further to the outside lanai and that entertainment space.
I just find it amazing that we no longer say master bedroom. Now it has to be a master suite. It's no longer there's no longer a master bedroom involved.
We even have houses that have technically 2 master suites.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, see, that would be perfect. Okay, Susan, if you're listening, after we get married, we need to move to On Top of the World so I can have a master suite. You can have a master suite. That way the bathrooms will be great. Because I've been subjected to the guest bathroom.
We don't ask why they want it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, women don't like to share their bathrooms with men. That's what it is. That's what it is. But in the changing world of homes, is this something that does on a day-to-day basis, a month-to-month basis, or is it buyer to buyer? How? What's some of the craziest or just altering things you've heard about new homes and what I want, what I don't want, and stuff like that?
It's really buyer to buyer. It's kind of specific to what they're coming from and how they live in their home. And you've got a bunch of refrigerators kind of scattered around, so you know how you want to live. And the same thing as they come in, they know what they were missing out of that last home and what they want to make sure that they incorporate in this one. So it kind of.
Are you getting
aside from just like options of tiles and stuff? What I've been seeing a lot of and what I hear a lot of is that people want a more robust landscape, lot.
Yeah.
And they like they keep their grass lush and green, and they want plants because a lot of people, especially during COVID, they wanted to be able to get out and just take care of their plants and plant new flowers.
Just get outside. Exactly.
Get outside, and they really like the beauty of what their house appeared to be from the outside. So I've seen a lot of that, and I don't know if you've heard that.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of landscape changes after the fact, and bringing in giant trees and
speaking of landscaping, that's another thing the smart home can have is the irrigation system and all.
That's all
can all be
tied
smart
into it,
homed as well.
Right.
It is. That's tied to it. You can control it from your phone.
And I'm sure most irrigation systems today are like this. My irrigation system at home, it'll tell itself not rain today. We don't need the water.
Right. And we've been doing that for a number of years with our HydroWife system. Like today, it'll know if it's 95% chance of raining. It won't rain. It won't irrigate your yard today, which is good because you don't be wasting. That's a lot of water that you use.
It is one of the most aggravating things, and it's commercial buildings. A lot of times, you'll go by on the way to work or something. I'll see a commercial building like today. It was raining like cats and dogs as I was driving in at 6:30 this morning, and I drove by 2 different commercial buildings that their irrigation was on, and I'm like, you're just wasting water there.
Yeah.
But smart homes can do that and not irrigate because they're smart enough to know we don't need to irrigate today.
Right. They've had the technology for a while. If it's raining, they've got the rain sensors, but we've been using the HydroWise that, like Robert was saying, it even reads the weather report and says, all right, well, we've got an 80, 90%, whatever we set that threshold at today, that it's going to rain on us, and it won't rain.
So your homes talk to Alexa. She says it's going to rain. Well, we're not watering today. Let me ask this: with the new development and more people coming into the 55 and up developments, as the director of sales, how great is it that you can use world-class natatorium, charter school? How great is that you can use those as selling points?
Those are huge features to have in the community that I think is going to draw from much greater than just Ocala area. So
how important from a sales standpoint is lifestyle? We talked about how important homes are, how the landscape and all, but how important to a buyer is lifestyle? Like on Top of the World, you got golf, you got pickleball, you got all kind of activities, you got all kind of stuff that you can do with the performance center and everything. It's almost like if you didn't want to, I would love for you to come back into Ocala proper, but if you didn't want to, you could stay right there within a mile of On Top of the World and never have to venture out. How important is that from a sales standpoint to people that you're selling to?
It's huge. That's the biggest draw is the lifestyle at On Top of the World, and that's what we've pushed for at Kalesa as well. And the planning, this has been a tremendous undertaking on the planning side, and we're really pushing for the lifestyle to get people back outside where they want to be. With the trail system that's been designed, it was really thought of to kind of bring it back to when we were kids and and the pile of bikes in front of the house is how you knew where all your friends
were, yeah.
right? So you would drive around and on your bikes and have those trail systems to kind of interweave all through the community. And it's just really been a huge focus of ours.
Yeah,
to,
a lot of
to
public
push
parks and stuff. You know, when On Top of the World was first being built, when Sidney Coleman was first designing it, Ken's dad, they wanted a lot of front porches. And if you go through the older sections, everybody
There's
had the
front
big
porches
porch
everywhere, yeah.
everywhere. And that was the idea, that you would sit out on your front porch, you would get to know your neighbors, you would go walking by, and so there was a real feeling of community. And that's what Kalesa really is the focus on, is building a community where people can get to know their neighbors. They feel safe where they can go out for walks at night and they feel safe. They feel safe with their kids riding their bikes around. They can ride their bikes to school. We have the I.A. Cole Academy coming. They'll be able to ride their bikes to the playgrounds. They'll be able to ride their bike. They'll be able to walk, whatever, take their golf carts to the swimming pool area, to the natatorium. So it's going to be really a special community that really, I don't know if any place else in this part of Florida even has anything like that.
I don't know if our parents thought we were safe or they just didn't care when I was growing up, because I could go, as long as I got back before the street lights came on, I could go anywhere in Jacksonville I wanted to go on a bicycle. As long as I was able to bicycle there and get back before the lights came on the street, I was good. But safety's a big deal now to parents.
Yeah.
Safety's a big deal to grandparents and all. And that's what safety's probably one of the things you say, look, here we are. This is what we've designed, and we've designed it all around safety. You probably have that conversation a lot.
We do. We have that quite a bit. We've got a tunnel system so that if they're riding their bikes to their friend's house that's across one of the major roads, they don't have to cross the road. They can go under the road and get there safely. It's a gated community, so there's going to be controlled access. So
now, will it be a gated and guarded community, or just gated?
Right now, the provisions are for gated. We could always move different directions just based on feedback, and as we've.
Yeah, there's allotment for 5,000 houses there. So
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot that can change and evolve
Certainly.
as things are needed.
The tunnel system. I always thought one of the smartest things, and that's why I love that golf course, is one of the smartest things. There's tunnel systems, and you do it at Candler Hill for a couple of holes, and they do it at Stone Creek as well. The tunnel systems let golf carts do. It makes perfect sense at Kalesa to have tunnel systems to let bicycles go and everything, so they can cross thoroughfares without parents worrying about whether little Johnny or little Mary's going to get run over on their bicycle. Once again, I don't think my parents cared. I just think they were like one less mouth to feed. But this is all things that have been thought out in planning. Planning is really the major, while you're building and you're selling and everything, if this wasn't planned right, it would not be the great look that it's going to be.
Right, absolutely. And like I said, I've been with Cole & Built for 6 years now, and the Kalesa project's been a topic that when I first came in as a salesperson, I was hearing about. So I'm sure they were planning even prior to that, but it's been something that's been going and going. It's not just the market's good, let's see if we can hit it now. It's something that's been planned and planned and planned.
We're speaking with Luke Leathers. He's the sales manager for Cole & Built Homes, and also Robert Colin, and I'm contractually obligated to say the man. He's with us as well. Robert, how much, when you look at the full package, the sales, and then after you get your home sold, if there is a little tweak you wanted to do, you have a part of the company that can come in and do those little tweaks. How much does the accessibility to every desire a homeowner wants, and you guys have the accessibility to supply that for them, Robert, how much do you think that plays a major factor in your development, people being so interested in it?
People being interested in be able to modify their house?
The fact that they can buy homes from you that you built, that the Cole & built, but they also have the option if they want to change something that they didn't necessarily like, they can do that. The safety of the communities and everything, it's all a complete package. How that complete package, how does that help, or how does that make it easier to sell what you're doing?
Well, I mean, I think that the understanding that Cole & Built is a family company that's been around since 1947 and has built quality construction, quality houses for 74 years now. And those houses that we built in St. Petersburg are still standing and still
to this day.
Great. And the ability that when you come and buy a house that you can change, you can decide what kind of cabinets you want, what kind of countertops you want. There's a lot of different choices that you're able to make. And then afterwards, if you want to add on your lanai, you want to put a bird cage out there, you want to put a swimming pool, that those choices are available to you. So I think it's a great opportunity for people when they move to Marion County, or if they're living here and they're looking for a better place for their family. I think it's a tremendous opportunity for them.
Luke, I know that we're in a housing shortage. It's talked about every day. The county commission is trying to give new development all over. They talk about how, I read an article this morning in the Ocala Star-Banner that said builders say we're probably about 4 years behind in inventory versus the need. But you guys seem to be hard at it and good to go. Are you experiencing shortages or?
Well, we're definitely experiencing material shortages, but being the company that we have been since the start in St. Pete, we've had experience and been through a little bit of everything. Maybe not something quite like this as far as a market, but we've predicted and tried to plan out. So yeah, we've got shortages, but we're still committed to building.
Remember 2005 and 2006 when the housing market was going crazy.
Right.
I think that in those times, like, you could get material, you could get the supplies, we had the land available, and now I think we're seeing like a really different environment where you don't have the lumber, the windows take forever, so it's really a different crazy environment that you have to adapt to, and it's been really interesting.
Well, the one thing I applaud you guys for is in 2008 when the market took a tank. We all know the story, Taylor Bean and Whitaker. We all know the housing market in the nation took a dive. We were very housing market heavy in Ocala, took a dive. For the most part, building of houses stopped for about 3-4 years. Not on top of the world though. Y'all kept building homes. So you may be dealing with this situation of a drought in homes a little better than other developments because you guys had the forethought to say, yeah, it's a little tough, but we can't stop just cold turkey. We need to keep doing something. It wasn't the same way it was in 2006, but you guys are to be applauded because you didn't stop for 3 or 4 years. You just downsized and did a fewer homes, but you were still building homes the whole time.
We were, and philosophy of the company going back to the very beginning was to be debt free, and so we were able to weather the storm that a lot of builders who leveraged themselves really heavily and bought properties or you took a lot of debt, they weren't able to survive that and they went out, and we didn't have that kind of problem because of the financial planning, because of the forethought. We've talked about everything from how you build a house, how you build a community, even how you manage your business is all thought out ahead of time so that we're not running into those kind of dramatic problems that a lot of companies face. So
yeah, I applaud Colin Build for having the forethought to know we can't stop. We can downsize and slow down a little bit, but and you didn't have to stop because, like you said, you were debt-free through planning from 74 years of knowledge of knowing what's good and what's not good.
And people were still moving to Florida.
Certainly.
It just was slowed down a lot.
Yeah. Right. Robert, thanks so much for bringing Luke in today. I appreciate it every time y'all come in, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yep.
2 weeks. Robert Colin from On Top of the World, Luke Leathers, he's the sales manager for Colin Build Homes. We're going to take a short time out. We'll be right back. You're listening to Ocala Talks on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. I'll be back next with headlines right here on The Source.
Thanks, Luke. That was great. Appreciate it.
11 days of fighting between Israel and Hamas. A federal judge lifted the Biden administration's temporary ban on new oil and gas leases on public lands and offshore waters. In a victory for 13 states that filed the legal challenge in Louisiana, U.S. District Judge Terry Doty granted a preliminary injunction Tuesday, blocking President Biden's January 27th executive order while the litigation continues. Arizona Governor Doug Ducey signed an executive order on Tuesday mandating that public colleges and universities cannot require students to receive the COVID-19 vaccine or require students to submit proof that they received the vaccine to attend in-person classes. USA.